The earliest copy of a Genesis to Revelation Ethiopian Bible actually comes in the ballpark somewhere between the 14th and 16th centuries. So,
what if I told you that one of the world's oldest scientifically dated Bibles isn't in Greek or Hebrew, but in Ethiopia? Too often, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo tradition is dismissed as just a late copy of Greek texts. But the evidence tells a very different story. Let's start with hard science. The Garima Gospels, preserved in Ethiopian monasteries, were tested using radiocarbon analysis. The results placed them between the 4th and 6th centuries CE, making them the oldest bound gospel codices in existence. That's not just tradition, that's laboratory evidence. Ethiopia also preserves books older than the Septuagint tradition that are lost elsewhere. The Tewahedo Canon includes 1 Enoch and Jubilees, texts found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, showing they circulated in Jewish communities long before later Christian Bibles. This means Ethiopia safeguards entire streams of scripture that stretch back to Second Temple Judaism. At the same time, Ethiopia's own identity in relation to Israel is ancient. The story of the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon, set in the era of the First Temple, became foundational for Ethiopian tradition and ties the nation's memory to Israel's early history. Even the New Testament itself points to this connection. In Acts 8, we read of an Ethiopian official studying Isaiah on his journey home. This is a first-century account that demonstrates Ethiopia's deep engagement with Hebrew scripture from the very beginning, not a late adoption. And when it comes to dating methods, Ethiopia again stands out. Famous Greek codices like Sinaiticus and Vaticanus are dated by Palaeography, an educated comparison of handwriting. The Garima Gospels, by contrast, add a radiocarbon-tested anchor, independent, scientific dating that strengthens historical reconstruction. It is also important to note that no single surviving Genesis-Revelation codex has a widely published representative. Am's date, the Bible began as separate scrolls and booklets, and was later compiled into multi-book codices. Most striking is continuity. For millennia, the Ethiopian Church has copied and used these texts in Geyez, maintained monastic libraries, and preserved liturgical practice. Drawing on Greek and Syriac exemplars, Ethiopian scribes nonetheless retained readings tied to Hebrew and Aramaic traditions. So the lesson is clear. The Bible's history is not complete without Ethiopia. Radiocarbon anchors, unique canonical books, biblical testimony, and a living manuscript culture all prove that the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church Bible is not secondary. It is ancient, authentic, and essential to understanding how Scripture was truly transmitted.